What if we can use some tips and tricks in Cisco IOS to make its administration very easy? So in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the tips and tricks that we can use in Cisco IOS to enhance the user experience. Welcome to CCNA 200-301, Implementing and Administering Cisco Solutions, Chapter number 44, Cisco IOS, Tips and Tricks. Learn CCNA with Irash Academy. I have placed the complete CCNA playlist at the top right corner of the video information bar. In this chapter, we will discuss about some of the tips and tricks that we can use in Cisco IOS for the easy management and fine-tuning. The first point we are going to discuss is IP domain lookup. So what is the IP domain lookup? To explain what is an IP domain lookup, I am going to take you into the console of a Cisco router. So this is the console of my Cisco router 2911. So it is asking press return to get started. So I am going to press the enter key to start. Now I am at the user mode. So in the user mode, if I press the question mark here, it will display all the supported command by the Cisco IOS in this mode. We have very few commands available in the user mode because user mode has very limited access. Now I am going to the privilege mode. To go to privilege mode, I can use the command enable and press enter. When I go to the privilege mode, again if I press the question mark, here you can see all the command that's supported in the privilege mode. Here the number of commands are higher than the user mode because privilege mode provide more access than the user mode. So here whatever the command available, we can enter that command. So the Cisco IOS can understand we are going to execute that command. Now for an example, let me take the command called reload. And this command is used for what? This command is using to reboot the Cisco device. So let me use this command and see what is happening to my Cisco router. So let me type the command reload, then enter. Now it is asking me to confirm to proceed with the reload. So let me press enter and confirm. Now you can see my Cisco router is reloading. That means it is rebooting. Now let's wait till the booting process complete. Now you can see the booting process has been completed. Now it is asking press return to get started. Let me go to the privilege mode, enable. Let me put the question mark again to display all the available command in this privilege mode. Now here you can see all the available command in privilege mode. So when we enter this command, that specific command is executed in the Cisco IOS. But what if we mistype this command? Or what if we type a command which doesn't exist in Cisco IOS directory? What will happen? Now you can see this reload command. I am going to type the reload command with a different spelling. Here I just missed the letter A. Okay, now it is RELOD. Let me enter this command and see what is happening in the console. When I press enter, see it is giving a different status. And what is it saying? It is saying translating, then our command typed, then it is saying domain server, then there is a 255.255.255.255. What is that? This is the broadcast address of the network. And in that network, this Cisco device is looking for a domain server, means a DNS server. Why it's need to check for a DNS server in the network? Because it's need to translate this word. And why it's need to translate? Because when we type something which doesn't exist in Cisco IOS command directory, then Cisco IOS thinks that this is the host name and you are trying to telnet to that host. You are trying to remotely connect to that host. So in that situation, the Cisco IOS want to get the IP address of this device to connect to that device. So to get the IP address, it is looking the support from a domain server or DNS server, and it is asking to translate this word into the IP address. So basically when you type a strange command or if you mistype an available command, Cisco IOS think that this is not a command, it is trained to telnet. So it's need to connect to that device. For that it's need the IP address, so it is asking to the domain server in that network to translate that host name into an IP address. And here you get the status unknown command or computer name or unable to find the computer address, because the Cisco IOS couldn't find an IP address for this host in the name of RELOD doesn't exist anywhere in that network. So this feature of the Cisco IOS is called IP domain lookup. So when we type a wrong command, the Cisco IOS takes some time to understand this host name doesn't exist anywhere. And that time you won't be able to type any other command or cancel the translating process. So what if you can switch off the feature of IP domain lookup in the Cisco IOS? If you can switch off that feature, then you can save a lot of time that is happening because of a mistyping of the real command. Now let me come back to the point IP domain lookup. What is the IP domain lookup? IP domain lookup is a Cisco IOS feature that enables DNS-based hostname to IP address translation. This command is enabled by default in Cisco IOS. You can switch it off this feature by using the command no IP domain lookup. So now I will show you how to switch off the IP domain lookup feature in Cisco IOS. For that you need to go to the global configuration mode of the Cisco IOS. How to get the global configuration mode? By using the command configure terminal. So let me enter the command configure terminal, and now I am at the global configuration mode. Now what is the command that we can use to switch off IP domain lookup feature? It is no IP domain lookup. So let me type no IP, then press the question mark. Here you can see no IP, then this is the command domain lookup. So no IP domain, then lookup, then press enter. Now we have successfully switched off the IP domain lookup feature in the Cisco IOS. Now let me go back to the privilege mode, then try to write something which doesn't exist in Cisco IOS command dictionary. For example, I can put reload. Okay, there is no command something like that. So let me put enter. See, now Cisco IOS is not trying to translate this host name into IP address. Instead, it is immediately displaying the status unknown command or computer name or unable to find the computer address. So in this way we can save a lot of time while doing the Cisco IOS administration. This is the benefit of disabling IP domain lookup feature in Cisco IOS. The next Cisco IOS tips we are going to discuss is password encryption. What is the password encryption and why do we need to use password encryption? Let me show you. We are back again in our Cisco router. And let me set a password in my Cisco router. For that, first let me go to the configuration mode, then go to the line console 0, and let me put a password here. I put the password called Irash, then press enter. Now let me go to exit, then let me go to the line VTY 025, then here also I am going to put one password. Then enter, then exit. So here, as you know, I set up two passwords. One is under my console and the second one is under the line VTY for the telnet access. Now let me go to the running configuration by using the command show running config, then press enter, and here you can see the running configuration of my Cisco router. And when I go down, see, look at that. This is the line console 0 and you can see my password here, Irash. And this is the line VTY 0 to 5 terminal, and here you can see my password, what I typed. It is Cisco password. So anyone can see the password which I typed in configuration from just behind my shoulder. Or if anyone get access by mistake, they can go to the running configuration and see all the password there. So how to prevent this thing? Because when we type the password, it is saving in a clear text format. Anyone can see it from the running configuration because we didn't encrypt the password. So there is a feature in Cisco IOS that we can encrypt the password so that this clear text password will be encrypted and it cannot read as clear text. So here When we talk about the password encryption, the passwords are not encrypted in Cisco devices by default. A clear text password is not secure at all because anyone can see it. So you can encrypt the password by using the command service password encryption. So it encrypts the clear text password and convert into something a different text that cannot understand by human. Now let's go to our Cisco router and enable the service password encryption. Now we are at the Cisco router. Now go to the global configuration mode by using the command configure terminal. Then type the command service password encryption, then press enter. Once we enable the service password encryption, then go to the running configuration by using the command show running configuration, then press enter. And if you look at here, this is your lane console, and here you can see the password is this one. Previously it was Cisco. Now that password Cisco is encrypted into this format. So people who see this, they cannot understand the password is Cisco. Similar here under lane VTY 0 to 4, password is this one. So currently we are using the basic password encryption, which is called 7. This is just the basic password encryption and it is not that much secure, but at least it is encrypted and more secure than the clear text. The next iOS tip is synchronous login. What is the synchronous login? In the Cisco iOS, the commands you are typing get lost in the console message. This is called asynchronous logging. This causes the mistyping of the command in Cisco iOS. You can synchronize the logging by using the command logging synchronous. So let me take you to the Cisco router and show what is the synchronous logging. So this is my Cisco router, and let me go to the global configuration mode using the command configure terminal. Now let me put any command. I am going to put here no IP domain, lookup command here, then press enter. Now the configuration part is completed. Now I need to exit from the global configuration mode. Then after that I need to again go to the global configuration mode. See, now here you can see when we exit from the global configuration mode, there is a message from the Cisco iOS that is saying configured from the console by console. This is the status message Cisco iOS displayed to notify the user the configuration from the console by console is completed. And when we type the next command, that command is coming as part of this console message. That can cause the confusing the user. This is happened because of the asynchronous logging in Cisco iOS console. We can rectify this problem by enabling the synchronous logging in the Cisco iOS. So how to enable the synchronous logging in Cisco iOS? For that, we can use the command logging synchronous. And where we are going to execute this command? We are going to execute this command under the line console. For that, we need to go to global configuration mode. So first let me go to the global configuration mode by using the command configure terminal. Now from here we need to go to the line console. For that, let me use the command line console 0. Then here we need to enter the command logging synchronous. So let me put here logging, then question mark, here you can see synchronous, login synchronous, enter. Exit. Then again exit from the global configuration mode. Exit. That's it. Now you can see as soon as we exit from the global configuration mode, we get the notification from the console saying that the configuration from the console by console has been completed, and immediately Cisco iOS started showing new lane. So when we are going to type the new command, that new command will come in this lane. It will not come along with the notification message. So in this way we can avoid the user mistyping the command. So this is the benefit of logging synchronous command. Next Cisco iOS tip is saving configuration. What is the meaning of saving configuration? In Cisco iOS, the configuration changes are not getting saved automatically. That means when you complete a configuration, when you make any changes in the existing configuration, that changes doesn't save automatically. You have to manually save it. So you can save the current configuration by using the command write or use copy running config startup config. We can here use both command. Both are doing the same functionality. So let's go to Cisco iOS and save the current configuration. For that, let me take you to the console of my Cisco router. So this is the console of my Cisco router. I have made some changes in the current configuration. If I reboot the router now, or there is a power failure in this router, whatever the configuration I made, that will be lost because I didn't save any configuration. To avoid this thing, I need to save the configuration after every configuration change or modification in the current configuration. So here I am going to save the current configuration. So what is the command to save the current configuration? There are two commands. One is just type write, as simple as it is. Press enter. Now you can see building configuration. Okay, that means the current configuration has been saved into its NVRAM. What is the second command? Second command is copy running configuration into startup configuration. This means I am going to copy the current running configuration into the startup configuration of my Cisco device. Then when I press enter, it is asking the destination file name, and its name is startup config by default. So I am not going to change anything here. I am just using the existing startup configuration file, so that will overwrite. Just press enter. Now you can see it is building the configuration and it's completed the configuration. So this is the way of saving the configuration. And another important point is don't forget to save the configuration after every change. So in this chapter, we have discussed about some of the tips and tricks that we can use in Cisco IOS for the easy management and fine-tuning. Thank you very much for watching and subscribe to the channel for more videos.